Right, we're on. Today I'm at Wilson Sports. I'm going to get fitted for a new driver. I've got my tailor-made Stealth, so I want to compare the Dynapower Driver to see if it's any better. I believe if I do get fitted for a driver today, the guys in here are going to build it for me. So Scott Cleland's going to fit me. He's also going to show me around the warehouse, show me how the balls get logoed, how the clothing gets embroidered, and of course my driver getting built should I decide to purchase one today. So let's go straight in there. Let's do it.
You've never had a driver fit as such, other than just a demo day?
So I've not really had a full-on driver fitting before, no. I've kind of fitted myself in ways, bits and pieces. I've swapped between stiff shaft and X-Flex shaft. Currently got X-Flex shaft in there, I'm not sure if I'm right with it. It says it's low trajectory, seems to go quite high, so I'll obviously spin it a bit. Okay. So the idea today, Scott, is to try and find which Wilson driver from the Dynapower range suits me.
Give me at least half a dozen worth yours.
Half a dozen balls mine. Is there
I square yourself off to the mat and
okay.
Go straight for it. Taking the line off to avoid alignment confusion.
Okay. So stay with me?
Stage is yours.
Stage is mine. So just on the line of the mat.
Yes, please. Good one, bad one?
Okay. Early on, I think we'll get better now. Still alright. Do you find when you're fitting that people hit it less distance than they think? Are they surprised?
Very often. There's an expectation and then the reality of it.
Yep.
My kind of way around that is you've got two numbers when it comes to distance.
Okay.
How far do you carry it and how far does it actually go in total? So when people talk and we say, how far does your 7-iron go? 160. Quite often Trackman saying something in the 140s.
Yep.
And then you've got that allowance for it landed and it's rolled out. So if the flag is 160, are you hitting a 7-iron to that flag? Yes. So.
Absolutely. It's interesting, isn't it? You get a lot of people with fittings that when they ask 7-iron distance, they all give a similar answer.
Within reason, yeah. And we see, as you can imagine, quite a broad range of ability, gender, strength, size, shapes, but we get pretty similar answers.
Right, okay. It's interesting, isn't it?
So on that one, how did that feel?
Felt a bit high in the face, a bit toey.
Okay. What does that do distance-wise if you're on the golf course and you see it?
I don't see a huge drop off in distance. Probably on a little bit left.
Okay. You don't see a huge drop off in distance. It goes roughly the same when you get yourself out there. Do you see a difference in flight of it?
It will lose distance.
How much?
Not a huge amount. I think it's more aware that I've not hit it well, so I'm accepting the fact that the distance has dropped off. But it's not a massive drop.
So if you have a look around at the screen, you've spoken about the idea of it can maybe being a bit on the spinny side.
Yeah.
if we take this guy here being the lowest on spin,
Okay.
which is probably too low to be manageable,
Yep.
but it's carried 276
Okay.
and you're out past the 300 mark. If you take that one, you swung it at a similar speed,
Yep.
but your ball speed's dropped 8 miles an hour. Spin's not far off doubled, and you've lost almost 30 yards in carry out of that.
Okay.
So angle it lands at becomes a lot sharper as well,
Yes.
because of that peak height.
So descent angle, yeah.
Yeah. And as a result of that, between those two shots, you're 40 yards down.
Mhm.
It's a massive drop off.
That's huge.
Go give me a couple. How fast can you swing it?
How fast am I swinging it just now?
103, 104.
Yep.
So imagine you're driving the car,
Yep.
and you, every now and again, you like to put your foot down, kind of throw up the rev range. How far up that gauge can you go? What kind of speed are you going to give us?
Okay. I reckon I could max out at about 107.
Go show me it. Round it up and give you grace.
What was it?
7.6.
108. And what's that doing? So it's
But that's a big jump in ball speed.
yeah.
Not done huge amounts to carry over the one previous that was really efficient because it was low on spin.
So that's the top line there, is it? So
Yeah,
spinning over 3,000 though.
spins over 3.
It's quite high, isn't it?
Define high.
I'd assume high. I'd assume low 2000s is pretty good.
Depending on the speed that the player puts in, depending
Okay.
on the way that they launch it, depending on how much loft they like to see on the club, it can be arguably for me anything between 1,800 and 3,500.
Right, okay.
So
So up there might be alright, could be alright.
potentially, it really depends. What do you want out of a driver?
Do you know, so driver's my weakest point. I can miss both ways. My path's out to in, I'm aware of that. It's classic, if I pull one left, face square path goes a long way, I'll whiff it a little bit to the right at times. That's why I've tried to put myself in a tighter shaft, a stiffer shaft, to try and bring dispersion in and ball flight down, which has worked a little bit. I feel as though dispersion's not too bad now, but dispersion, I'm not bothered about distance. Not overly bothered about distance. I don't want to bomb at miles. I mean, carrying there, what, 250, 260?
On average 260.
260, average 261, yep. So I mean, I'm happy with that.
Okay, we just
That's
need to
all right.
find fairways.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you're going to find fairways, part of your formula that's going to help you do that is the more spin you've got,
Yeah.
the straighter you're going to hit it. Very difficult to snap hook a sand wedge,
Yes, of course.
but you can do a driver. Because the golf ball's moving backwards more, you've got less sideways relationship in there.
Yep.
So arguably if we look at spin on the higher side, but we can improve everything else, you get your yardage but you hit more fairways.
Okay,
Okay.
let's do that.
Right. Let's start you off then. What weight have you got shaft wise?
Shaft, well, this is the X-Flex, this is 70 grams.
Okay. So I'm going to give you something a little bit different.
Okay.
Let's keep loft the same, but go slightly lighter in shaft and slightly softer. If we want to keep spin up, but start to think about improving distance, other things are going to have to change and get faster.
Okay.
So are you in a position where 107 is the max with what you've got?
Yep.
Can we get something on the kind of higher side with something new? Stage is yours. Without telling you what it is,
No.
go hit it. Let's see what we get.
That felt powerful.
Ball speed was faster than pretty much everything else that you gave me, with the exception of that one where you tried to go at it.
Okay.
Flight wise, is that quite typical of what you would expect from it, shape wise?
Are we sort of left to right?
Kind of a little fadey.
Aye, yep.
Would you expect little fadey carrying 276 though?
No. Is that what I was doing?
There you go.
Right, thanks very much.
Home time.
So that exactly carried 2.6. And what's the spin on that? Not that that's
2.7, almost 2.8.
carried 2.76. Jesus. I feel as though I hit that one quite as well.
Didn't register that one.
Yeah.
Right, so if we take the one out from your own driver
Okay.
that we went after, because that's kind of a bit of an outlier, and we look at the difference, we've got less weight overall because the shaft dropped down, so clutch speed goes up without you really trying to do much more.
Okay.
We've ended up with a huge jump in ball speed. Spins come down, and it's kind of a number that you started to kind of talk about.
Yes.
And the 2-somethings.
Yep.
Height's not dropped massively,
No.
but it's still probably on the higher side of things. But your carry numbers jumped quite a lot.
So speed's up, spins down slightly, carries up.
Yeah, so what
Carries well up.
we'll see a difference in ball speed because you've swung it faster. So there's a couple of miles an hour to account for in that difference
Of course.
because you swung it quicker.
Yep.
But what we have is it's basically just a faster head, something that's going to work
Yep.
a wee bit more efficiently over age and technology and things moving on. Launches a little bit lower, spins a little bit less, which will account within your formula for overall distance.
Yep.
But yeah, you're almost 20 yards up on that.
Yeah, that's incredible. 20 yards up and 56. Yeah.
It's a starting point, so let's take it off you.
Okay.
So sound wise, you like the head.
Yeah, love that.
Okay.
Right. What the shaft difference between that and what I've been using is that's a lighter shaft.
It's a lighter shaft, it's also slightly softer.
Yeah.
So you're almost kind of, flex is one of these conversations that goes around X in one guy is X in another, and regular for somebody could be borderline X for somebody else. So they've got details on them, but at the same time it's more about getting a fit, getting a launch monitor in front of you and being able to actually assess what ball speed does whilst you talk about control levels.
Okay.
Okay, so same head, different shaft again. Without telling you what it is,
I'm scared to look.
go hit, let's see what we get. That one fell.
That one actually felt alright. I don't know if it was a wee over the top out to in job, but it certainly felt okay. That felt good. They all felt okay. First one was probably the worst of the three.
Mr. Efficient. Right, so interestingly, you've spoken about kind of it's a little bit fadey and it's a little bit that's my shape, and every now and again face will go the other way and it goes left.
Yes.
Has there been any conversation in the past between how heavy your golf clubs are and then how you react movement wise to what the golf club ends up doing?
No.
Because as we drop weight,
Okay.
your face to path relationship's changing.
Okay. In which way?
It's going further left.
My face goes further left as the
Yes.
shaft gets lighter.
Yes. So almost kind of slightly reactionary to less weight.
Okay.
Speed's going up another 1.
Mhm.
You're pretty much as efficient with what you've got in your hands compared to the one that we took off you. We haven't changed the height of it,
Okay.
but we're stealing another few yards
Yeah.
just by shedding some weight. How does that one feel weight wise?
I mean,
If I give you that back.
yeah. It definitely, it does feel lighter.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know if that's a good thing. I quite like the feel of a heavier driver.
Okay.
Which has maybe been wrong in the past, and as you see we go lighter, we carry it further, but then I can't control the face quite as easy.
Okay, so if I gave you the option of managing the face more or changing the start line and the shape, but keeping the weight reduction, would you take it?
Yes.
Okay. So let's
Answer that quickly, didn't I?
let's keep shaft. I'll go for a different head.
Okay.
So if we loft the head up
Yep.
and then we use the loft sleeve on it to take it down the way, it opens the face slightly.
Yep.
So within half a degree, you end up looking down at the same amount of loft, but we change where the face points, so that should look slightly further right than what you
Yeah.
have had.
Okay, right, so I see, right. Okay. So a lighter shaft, lighter build,
Well,
my
lighter
face
in
was
shaft.
closing more. So now we've kept the lighter shaft,
Yep,
but we've altered the sleeve on the golf club to make sure the face sits slightly more open at dress
that's it,
to counterbalance my closure.
pretty much. So we're almost a 1-for-1 on what we see on the screen.
Okay.
Not great in the sense of
I just felt as I kind of stood up on it. I just didn't think it was a good strike.
okay.
Maybe it was.
So-
But no. That was my bad. I felt as though that was one of the bad ones.
That's one of the bad ones. We've changed the setup. The fade returns,
Yep.
but your ball speed doesn't suffer. So if we compare
Yeah.
that round it to 160 versus 161 versus 160 with the first one that we hit, you're still massively up on carry
Yeah.
with a bad one.
That's why I'm here. Okay. Felt alright.
Two 278.
Machine. That's
A man that doesn't like his driver, your efficiency level's astounding.
what we're smashing that
Yeah,
1.5.
right on the limit.
I like driving now. What a difference that is. I feel as if that one I might have closed over a little bit.
A fraction.
Yeah.
But by changing the amount of loft that the golf club's got and then bringing it down and opening the face, if you have a look at that face to path number, we're going from closed to something which is, I know it's only 3 shots, but
Yep.
you can see a difference in it.
Neutral. Yeah.
It's more neutral.
Mhm.
That's not going to stop your tendency to maybe close it over,
Uh-huh.
but it's certainly going to help and assist with what the left side of the golf course might look like.
Yep. I feel good.
Really good. That's mild. Compared to
carry 286.
Compared to where we started, that's a long way.
And my Stealth was carrying 2.
On average, 257. So if we open it up.
So that shot, that one shot I've hit there is basically carried 30
So you've gone with the one you're holding, 276, 278, 278, 287 versus current one minus that one that you had to go at, 249, 237, 276.
My base was 276, averaging 256.
That's the one that, based on the amount of speed that you were able to put into it, you've almost had to kind of flat knuckleball it
Yeah,
to get it going that far.
Yeah, the
So if
face
we
is closed.
put your own up against the one that you're holding and you have a look at where they are, it's quite different.
Absolutely. Brilliant.
But the trajectory difference, if you have a look, so your flat one with the one that you're holding, I would say was probably a little bit low on the face,
Yeah.
which then kind of tries to spin its way up, where your own driver, it's almost kind of high on the face, trying to dip the other way.
Yes.
So one's going to fall where one's desperate to climb. They've ended up going roughly the same distance, but that's the one that is really going to get in the way. If you can leave the face hanging a wee bit and you get that and it's launching and it's spinning doing that, that gets quite painful.
Yeah,
So if you take that off and you look at
That's good.
where you pitch, flight's different.
I can imagine it being much more penetrating.
Yeah.
You know, as I said to you at the start, I've got an X-Flex low trajectory shaft in there, but I still.
And it's in part down to the amount of weight that the golf club carries and how you'll react to try and generate the speed.
Yep.
If we take some of that away from you, you can create speed in different ways and you can create it easier, so you become more efficient in delivery. You're not bad with delivery there, but if you talk about a difference of 4 miles an hour in ball speed plus or minus, we made it smaller, we've made it smaller. 1 at 161 is more than acceptable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're then plus or minus 4 yards of carry,
Yeah.
compared with 15. You know what you're going to get.
It's brilliant. I feel confident over that. I feel as though, and even just chatting to yourself, things like measure efficiency and things to understand how well that is. I feel as though I love the concept of the lighter shaft, but also opening the face to assist with my error, which is what custom fitting's all about.
Yeah, it's basically it's making life as easy as possible for you, but making you as efficient as possible while you do it.
It's brilliant.
Right, so if we've got speed up to 106 average, which is pretty much where you said you were going to burst
Yes.
your own to,
Yep.
how fast can that one move? You've got 290 carrying you. Come on, lad.
Come on. Try to stay in balance as you do that.
It's like birthday and Christmas all in one day. So there's 110. So you've gone from 104 to 107 with your own.
Yep.
So 3 miles an hour is pretty much what you would expect out of something again. 106, 106, 106, 107. Give you grace and call that 110.
Yep.
There's your 3 miles an hour. You are just scary efficient.
Thank you.
But launch and spin, we could argue.
I've never seen numbers like that before. Carry club speed 110, carry 296. Am I reading that right? Total 315. And there's me saying I'm not obsessed with length.
And this is when the dynamics of our fitting session change, because we come in with, somebody has a bit of a wish list, we try and turn that into a shopping list where we set out to go and pick those things and make sure we've got them. But then you kind of wander around Tesco and Asda and you go, oh God, I could have a wee bit of that whilst I'm here, and if I can just have a wee bit of this, and it's not going to cost any more, do you know what, I'm going to have it because I'm here.
That's right.
And that's pretty much what fitting starts to move towards once you've got all the good bits in.
Definitely.
Interestingly, right, let's put that away. Because, and let's give you that back. So you've had some more balls, we've given you something else.
This feels heavy now.
So let's talk about the differences of what you can go back to and how yours behaves.
Okay. Just set a couple of this?
Yeah, go for it.
Good strike.
105 for 158. So again, efficient, but carrying a lot of spin. And it's nearly 20 yards down.
That was hit it okay.
All speed's good. I would say that's one of your better ones because the spin numbers drop.
Yep.
But
Face is closed.
we've then got face closed, so as a result of face closing, you lower launch, you lower spin,
Yep.
and it's gone further.
Like that.
But that, although that felt good, that's actually kind of counterintuitive to you wanting to play good golf because
Yes.
you've hit it further, but you've hit it further offline.
Aye. So that's the left face closing.
That's the left one. So if you look at
This actually feels hard work now.
it's only when somebody gives you something completely different
Absolutely.
and you go back to it, you go, actually, yeah. So there's the first one that you hit with that
Yep.
in this part. There's the next one. So yes, it's further,
That's further offline, as you say.
but if we go and we group, quite difficult to see the colour against the screen, but these guys are over there, but that's a fairly neutral ball flight that you've got.
Yep.
Compared to that, which then starts to look a little bit destructive, and there's what you opened up with.
Yep.
So there's the potential of
Both sides.
a left and a right in that.
Mhm.
It is interesting.
It is interesting. We'll put that back. So do you know what is interesting as well? I just had a wee sneaky peek at this just when I handed it back to you. I had no idea the 12-degree launch lofted driver in my hand. I know we've changed it, but I had no idea it was a 12-degree head.
These are numbers.
Yes.
And the numbers are irrelevant when it comes to the user and performance. I compare a lot of things to driving cars and the way cars are set up because most people that come and see us drive here. You take a Formula 1 car and you put it in one guy's hands and it's an amazing piece of machinery. And you put it in someone else's hands and they don't know how to make it move.
Yeah.
And golf clubs are the same, depending on how the experienced the player is, depending on how fast the player is, how reactive a player is. These are just numbers.
Yep.
But ultimately the numbers that we want are the stuff that you end up with on screen that says this is more efficient than what you had, this is straighter than what you had, it's further than what you had.
Absolutely.
But you don't need any more experience or skill to do anything with it.
No. That's brilliant. I like that. 12 degrees, face sat slightly open, hazardous smoke 6.0.
So let's call this new Dyna. Go for it. We'll tag it differently.
New Dyna.
I mean, even at that, it's.
Yes, that wasn't.
I would say that's almost a safe swing.
That's wasn't great, but the numbers are as good as my stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a bad strike. That's exactly. So as we chatted about at the start, what was I looking for? Finding fairways. I've also found fairways, but gained a lot of distance as well.
So if we swap this one round and we have a look at that as dispersion, that's 6-ish yards right of centre.
Yeah. Not a bad one.
And if you're going to do anything and it is going to move that fraction left,
Yeah.
as a miss,
But that's not, it's absolutely fine though. It's
not disastrous.
No, absolutely not.
Like, I get the feeling that you've almost been, you've tried to be safe and gone heavier, and as a result, heavier makes you a little bit slower, so you get even safer.
Yes.
Because the miss, although it is longer, it is further offline. I reckon you could just stand up and try smash a few with it when you're outdoors on the golf course and start to trust that
I feel as though.
more again.
Aye, absolutely. I've done a lot of guiding, a lot of steery shots to try and get fairway. If you don't have something that's I know is built for me to stand up and have a little bit of freedom, it would be great. And I feel as though we've nailed that today. So that was
Fire up
talking as I was
there.
doing it to try and be a bit more loose. Carry 279. Brilliant.
Yeah, we can definitely give you more. So if we take out, let's delete those warm-up ones. Let's get rid of those ones. Let's get short of that. So basically what we're left with now is the 4 that we have in 2 separate sections. So your own twice,
Yep.
and the Dynapower carbon twice.
Okay.
So if we isolate yours, that's what it looks like.
Yep.
And if we isolate the carbon, that's what it looks like.
Yep.
And then when we go further down the page and we talk about overall distances, you've got your own at 257 carry to start with.
Okay.
We then go back and you've got a bit more confidence and you've hit a few more shots, so that does jump up.
11 yards. Yep.
But with a few not so good swings whilst you're having a bit of a chat,
Yes.
that's still further. And then when you've got kind of full dialed in what can I do with it,
Mm-hmm.
you're still looking at about a 15-yard gain.
Yep. It's brilliant. So
Weighs less.
Yep.
Loft isn't too dissimilar to what you've got,
No.
but by shifting the face angle fractionally, you get less bias to the left if it's going to be offline.
Yep. So the 12
Just makes it
degree.
easier.
What loft have you knocked off that?
1. So it's
degree,
taken down to 11.
So it's 11. It's only half a degree. Yep.
It's down to 11 and sits open 1.
Brilliant. Super. I'm happy. Excellent.
Shall we go make you a driver?
Let's go and build a driver. Right, Scott Cleland has just given me my driver fitting. Absolutely fantastic. We're now in the warehouse. Clearly, this place is absolutely huge. In fact, I'm actually blown away by the size and scale of this place. So we're going to go for a tour around. We're going to get my driver, we're going to get all the components, grip, shaft, head. We're going to build my new driver. It was really interesting on TrackMan there how Scott was able to identify that my club face closes over slightly. So he put me into a 12 degree driver. I've never been in a 12 degree driver head in my life. But he took the loft off, which opens the face, so therefore that closure rate is going to be looked after, if you like, because the more light the shaft is, having been fitted into a slightly lighter shaft, the quicker I close that face over. So it was an absolutely fantastic experience. Scott really knows his stuff. If you would like to be fitted for a Wilson Dynapower Driver, if you contact your local professional who has a Wilson account, they will put you in touch with the guys here at Wilson and you can come for your fitting with Scott. And I highly recommend that. Now let's go and get my hands on this new driver. Build me a driver. Come on, Wilson, let's get this built.
We've got 12 degree head. We've got 50 gram shaft.
Yeah.
44 inch socket. Already in 44.
That's it, driver's built.
That's it, driver is built.
Thank you very much. There it is. That is what the sort of service you get at Wilson Golf. Absolutely fantastic. Delighted with the fit. Scott was amazing. Great to see around the whole environment, the whole workshop if you like. Seeing the cresting going on, the logo on the golf balls, the build of my own driver. There's something nice about that. A very special touch to be fitted in the first place, but to see your own driver getting built, that's outstanding.